Thank you for your consideration. This is Bishop Bob. It is a wonderful day, always and forever. As long as you can open your eyes, breathe the wonderful air, see the beautiful sights that y'all have created for us. The sun, the moon, the rain, the storms, the cloud, even the thunder and the lightning. All these things are necessary for our existence to be real. Without them, it is death. So appreciate every knock, bump, bite, noise, wind, insect, animal. Appreciate it all. And that's what we do here at Buttafleye Ministry. We share our thoughts and in my particular case, we communicate as best an understanding and practice of worship for our Creator, Yah. Every Sabbath, we tend to work on material to release to the public, and we want to hear from you. You can also purchase to help with the ministry. You can purchase our books, as well as make donations directly to the ministry via the website, buttafleyeministry.org. I hope you enjoy. Thank you. Thank you all for joining me today. This is Bishop Bob Lamore, and today I want to talk to you about something that I consider to be quite interesting or quite worth taking a moment to think about. And in being humble to our Creator, I want to first thank you for your time and your patience to share this prayer and study and understanding with me. We're going to start today out with Matthew 7. We're going to read 1 through 8. This is the New King James Version. In his words, or in the book, the Holy Book, I ask that the Father bless us, create wisdom within us, and protect us from having a reprobated mind, or a mind that is of the world and not of the Spirit. In the Messiah's name we pray. Judge not, that you be not judged. For with that judgment you judge, you will be judged. And with the measure you use, it will be measured back to you. How amazing is that? How amazing is that? Judge not, that ye be not judged. And I don't know why I want to say ye. It clearly says you there. But I think that makes a point. For those of us that grew up reading the old King James Version, and pretty much is, whenever we read the Bible, that's what we hear in our mind, right? Amazing. It says, with the measure you use, it will be measured back to you. And why do you look at the speck in your brother's eye, but do not consider the plank in your own eye? And that's the title of this audiobook today. And one of the things that I consider to be very important is first looking at myself before I look out at others. Now, part of my work outside of spreading thoughts that I have with other brothers, the Messiah walked among us, and it is recorded in the Holy Book as a record for us to review and go back to when we're speaking of His grace and His walk here on this planet. One speaker I used to pay a lot of attention to that my wife turned me on to, she's a preacher, just a studying God, a scholar, was Brother Miles. And Dr. Miles spoke about many things, and one of the things he did that I may or may not sound like was about Matthew 7. He spoke about that several times. He didn't make a big confusion of it. He just touched bases, and that's my intent. I don't want to make a big confusion of it, because The Messiah spoke in parables, and because of that, a lot of folks get things confused. And we'll touch base on some of those from my perspective. And again, our understanding is what most folks will call our wisdom, and that's developed from hearing different points of view. And then you will have to decide what you think is right. Okay, so for those of us with an analytical mind, Matthew 7 starts out as, "Judge not, that you be not judged. For with the judgment you judge, you will be judged." For the Messiah to tell us that's why I don't like to waste a lot of time studying the parts of the Bible where the information is given to us by a third party that's speaking directly as a third party that's speaking, so forth. The speech of what we're reading is important. For example, I am not the Messiah, but I'm reading the closest thing to his word that the book has to offer. Anything that is said that he said that somebody saw in a dream is not exactly him speaking. So we want to listen to what the Messiah said, his words. And once we understand that, then we can go down the road with Paul and everybody else that meets him in a dream and he tells them things. Let's first study what he had to say. So what we're doing here was, though it is third party, it is third party to have been said that it was witnessed that he said it, not in a dream, but in reality, amongst us living, more than one person. Okay. All right. Judge not, that you be not judged. For with what judgment you judge, you will be judged. Think about that. When you say things about people that you don't know to be true, what are you doing? You're backbiting, right? And if you're backbiting, you're making a judgment. You're believing that this thing that you heard from someone else is true about that particular person, no matter what it is. Even the information that we've received, third party, about the Messiah will make us or give us somewhat of a thought process which will allow us to make a choice. How do we make that choice? We have to judge the evidence that's put before us. Therefore, it is near impossible for you not to judge. You have to take the information that you receive and where you receive it from into account. You have to know the authority of the person who tells you this. That's why I always tell folks, if you want to do what the Messiah said do, go to what the Messiah said. We ain't got to worry about doctrines or confusion or anything when you have the book yourself. That was the whole point of all those folks being killed in history from the time of you can pretty much name whatever war you want. Whenever pagans came around, they wanted to change the way of the Christian. They wanted to change the way of the Messiah. They wanted to change this, change that, whatever. Define it, give it a name, have some way to count you or take a census of what you believe in. That's when they started giving things names. They had to be able to quantify things. And so we started identifying with these so-called groups and things that had really nothing to do with anything, because we had to judge from the information that was available to us at that time. But you have what is supposed to be the blessed book. The book that has been here the longest, the most read book, the most shared book, the most close to the truth book ever. But it is still a book of history and a book of his stories. The Bible. Now, some folks will say, "Oh my, you just said something super crazy, or you're a hypocrite, or you're blasphemous, and this and that." So I say to them, "Oh, please, please, get over yourself. Why are you trying to make a mountain out of a molehill when the truth stares you in the face? You have absolutely no understanding of how long this Bible has been around, or the word that's in the Bible that you're reading now. You have to take the word of people who lived here before you, that this thing existed before they existed. But you can't see past when they existed. So they don't know any more than what they were told, what was socially accepted to be the truth. For all we know, the Bible could only be 100 years old. The information could only be 100 years old. We don't know. Those of us that have lived longer than 100 years got somewhat of an idea, because the people who allegedly were alive 100 years ago told our folks that this was here before them. Okay? So, taking into account that most of Americans, especially African Americans, didn't get to learn to read till 300 or 400 years ago, there's a probability that what we hold to be the truth, the Holy Bible, is not even the truth, or, as far as that, holy. Could be just an invention made by the Roman Catholic Church, put out and forced history. You'll find that is pretty much how every religion got shared with the world. It came from a conquering army. Most folks, if given the ability to choose God themselves, would pick something from their community, something that they're afraid of. I was talking to my wife about how people of the ocean came up with gods from the ocean. And people who lived out in the desert, like the Egyptians and whatnot, worshiped the sun, because that was the strongest thing they could see. You know what I mean? So to them, birds and things that are up in the sky, those things had to be gods, because they could get away from heat and stuff like that and survive and come back and fly back and forth. They seem to know where all the water is. You know what I mean? So for them, those things were gods. So where did the idea of God being something better than that? Somebody had to have some way to judge that and come up with that understanding and that belief, right? So again, I'll go back to Matthew 7:1. Judge not, that you be not judged. For with that judgment you judge, you will be judged. So we took what we believe to be the truth, the information that we received in our book. We do not know beyond what we've been educated, the same as our parents and those before that. We do not know that what we have here, this book of knowledge, is any truer than any other book that has been here before us. We don't know that. So we're told that this is not a fiction. If so, and if you believe and have faith in that word, you must understand what it says here. Judge not, that you be not judged. For with what judgment you judge, you will be judged. So if you are taught foolish things, You judge things from a foolish perspective because that's all you know. You cannot judge things from anywhere you have not understood or from anywhere you have not been. Thank you for your consideration. This is Bishop Bob. It is a wonderful day, always and forever. As long as you can open your eyes, breathe the wonderful air, see the beautiful sights that Yah have created for us. The sun, the moon, the rain, the storms, the cloud, even the thunder and the lightning. All these things are necessary for our existence to be real. Without them, it is death. So appreciate every knock, bump, bite, noise, wind, insect, animal. Appreciate it all. And that's what we do here at Buttafleye Ministry. We share our thoughts and in my particular case, we communicate as best an understanding and practice of worship for our Creator, Yah. Every Sabbath, we tend to work on material to release to the public, and we want to hear from you. You can also purchase to help with the ministry. You can purchase our books, as well as make donations directly to the ministry via the website, butterflyministry.org. I hope you enjoy. Thank you.